It starts with the two of them.
What rumor's that?
BFA's going to be in Hamilton, the Hamilton mainland.
Yeah, on the 7th.
Rolling intro.
Rolling intro. Stand by. Where am I? Here? All right. No pan, right? Yes, pan. On right there. Just point to it when it's on.
Leaders, the band, the Chop House, having the ability to celebrate Sierra's accomplishment, being a state champion at disc. The outcome was not what we expected, but hats off to Lenape. They're outstanding coaching staff. They got tough kids. They're defensively sound, and they were the better team that night.
Before we get into the weeds, as they like to say, some of the things that we noticed in the booth were, number one, starting the second half, Drew took a seat.
Yeah, that was simply just to throw a curveball, and it worked. Because Zach at quarterback, gives us another dimension of the offense. He can get the ball out there. He's not Drew, obviously, but he could throw it if he needs to. Short game, and last time I checked, Zach can run the ball.
Oh, he did. And the funny thing is, once again, in this game, you were able to do whatever you needed to do offensively, almost at will.
Yeah, our offense was doing a good job for the most part. It's, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but we should not be starting drives behind the sticks. And there were times where, an offsides, a legal man downfield, a holding, whatever it is, those little penalties, all of a sudden it's 1st and 10, now it's 1st and 25. I don't know too many plays, that's where you're successful or how many drives you're successful when you start 1st and 25 behind the sticks.
And we'll certainly get into the officiating aspect of that game because it was very telling. But on the other side of the coin, you jump out to a 7-0 lead, get a really good drive. And the other thing is the involvement in the offense. It wasn't just number 3. It wasn't just number 7. It wasn't just number 8. It was everybody.
Look, Coach Seidenberg and Coach Gallagher have done a tremendous, tremendous job tailoring our offense to our personnel. I don't think you've seen an offense like this, the way we're distributing the ball, the passing game, so to speak. It's really been a run-first traditional type of program. And we still have the ability to do that, but with our personnel, it really allows us to spread the ball around. Hats off to Coach Seidenberg for putting the kids in the right place, and a lot of that has to do with Mr. Craig.
Speaking of growing pains, maturing, Drew's only a sophomore, another interception, and it was in a bad spot.
Yeah, that's going to happen. That's going to happen, especially as a sophomore. If I had to play that back, I would have probably stopped the pass and just kept it on the ground and would have been safe. That's a play where I don't know if we did put Drew in the best position. Now, granted, it was the wrong read. There was a couple plays before that were, the play was there. It was the wrong read. So, you kind of put those things together. You get the outcome that you got, which was a huge play, obviously, in the game. Huge play.
No doubt. We'll come back with more here at Rack's Pub and Grill. We are live in Williamstown on BFA. It's the Coach's Show with the head coach of the Braves, Tom Kelly.
No one out-cheeses, out-meats, out-supremes, out-crusts, or out-stuffs the Hut. Because when it comes to making your favorites, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopaedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
Pizza Hut wings are bigger and better than the other pizza guys' wings. No one outwings the Hut.
The Claridge is the best destination to stay and play on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Just steps away from the ocean, the Claridge has it all. The city's ultimate rooftop bar, wonderful restaurants, classic guest rooms with ultra-high-speed Wi-Fi, and 100,000 square feet of banquet and convention space for events and the wedding of your dreams. Book at Claridge.com for the best rates and find the best package for your stay. Discover all the Claridge has to offer.
We're back at Rack's Pub and Grill. We're live every Tuesday night for the Coach's Show with Tom Kelly. Williamstown Braves football here on BFA. They are in a spot now, the Braves are, Coach, with a tough one coming up. And they're all tough after this, but we're going to put to bed the Lenape game, and I want to start with what I know. And I also want to say this, we're here, and I want to say this also. Most of you know the fact that I am also an official. And in the 30 years I've been broadcasting, I've never, ever, ever, ever blew up officials on the air. Never. I stick to what the call is. I say if it's a good call, I say if it's a bad call, and I leave it at that. Having said that, you guys were behind the eight ball, sometimes to your own volition with false starts and penalties, but some of them were probably not warranted. What was your message, knowing that there were calls in that game that definitely were not the right calls?
Well, during the game, there's nothing you can do, right? There's nothing you can do during the game. When the call is made, it's made. You got to have next play mentality. So, I've kind of learned rather quickly to not get hung up on a call because it doesn't do any good. You still got to coach the game. So that was the mentality throughout the game. We knew which way the game was going early, right, with the calls. And I think Coach Gallagher, really, really hit it on the head with our kids Friday night and Monday during, our install before we walked out. He said, guys, it was bad enough we were going against the officials, we can't go against ourselves as well. You know, it's got to be one or the other. You know, you can't have those two things happen and expect to win. So you're right. We were fighting an uphill battle. You know, we felt like a lot of calls didn't go our way. You know, the fumble's obvious. I mean, that's the one that everybody looks at. To me, though, and talking to the captains, we agree that it shouldn't have came down to that play. You know, I know talking to Julian Noel, you know, he feels like, and I'm with him, you know, he said, Coach, it shouldn't have came down to that fumble. You know, so there were opportunities that we had that we missed. We you know, hurt ourselves at times. Did the refs help us? Not at all.
So I don't agree. You're in a good ball game. It's 7-7. Both teams are moving the ball. Both teams are having good things on defense. It's a good football game. And you need to make a play, and you do. And I will tell you, 6 guys on the field that were officials in that crew, 5 of them probably saw the ball out as a fumble. And I'm talking about a running play that was, you know, give the kid credit. Fleming, number 8, had a really good game, had the ball a lot. But he gets about maybe 6-7 yards, and then the ball's out. And the funny thing is, and maybe you can tell me, maybe I don't know, because when we were up in the booth, we couldn't tell. When was the whistle blown?
So I am with you when we talked before the show. I didn't hear the whistle till Julian was down the field. Some of the coaches said they heard the whistle early, but I think the ball was still in
How
Julian.
early?
I think the ball was in Julian's hands.
So that's the key, and we talked about that before. This is a huge part of the game, and my problem was that they didn't get together to fix that call, because 2 plays later they're in the end zone.
Yeah, listen, I agree. I mean,
Right.
the call. Listen, I'm not saying that the call wasn't a big call. It was.
And how was it explained to you by the official on your side?
I didn't blow the whistle. It wasn't my call.
That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See,
So I walked out to the field and I said my piece calmly, you know, because like I said, I've learned.
I don't think you say anything calmly. Let's just put that right there. We have it on video too if you want to see it. You were not calm.
Calm for me.
Okay.
How's that?
That's better.
Calm in my world.
Yeah.
You know, I felt bad. I felt bad for the kids. You know, I felt like that was they stole that from our kids.
No doubt.
And I let them know that. But what are you gonna do? You got to play a football game, right? You got to, you know, defense is in a bad spot. But at the end of the day, your job is to stop them on defense, and our job is to score on offense. And we didn't do enough of that. We just didn't do enough of that.
What did you think when Lenape and that gave them the lead? They didn't score after that, by the way. You know that. So, you know, your defense and Coach Gordon in his first year has really done some good things.
Yeah, Coach Gordon and that staff have done a very good job. You know, that pick before the half was bad. It was a bad play. You know, if there was one downfall, it was how they scored. You know, it was I think it was 3rd and 10. They threw the ball out. I mean, it was an ugly play. You know, we didn't play the ball well, and then it was kind of one of those, you got to be kidding me, they scored on that play. You know, but other than that, it was a bend don't break kind of defense. You know, they had their plays offensively, but for the most part, you know, we did a very good job of holding them. Good 4th and 1 stop by Ashton Copa too. That 4th and 1 stop was big. That
was huge, but then you get into the end zone. Lost in all of this. You get into the end zone with all of this adversity and everything going against you, you're an extra point away from tying the game.
Yep.
When you had a chance to look on video, what happened on that point after?
2 things. One, the right side, and we addressed it today, did not do a good job blocking. I mean, they know it. Our wing, you know, he, in his mind, you know, you step down and block out, but it's like the LSU game, you know. That inside gap with the wing is the easiest path to the kicker, right? So you got to really solidify that gap. So didn't really stay down there long enough, right? And you kind of punch the outside guy. And it was also a very low kick. Again, you put those things together, you got a missed extra point.
And it was that missed extra point, unfortunately, that you were ready for overtime. We were all ready for overtime.
I was ready to get the ball back and score and win.
Crowd was back into it. Okay. We were ready for overtime. wasn't meant to be. Looking ahead now, and not taking nothing away from Lenape, because, Waj does a really good job there.
Outstanding staff. Outstanding staff. Talked to them before the game. We both shared the same respect for one another program-wise. One of the coaches actually told me, I hate this field, he said. And I said, well, the grass, no. I hate this field. I have some bad memories on this field, So we've always had that respect for the programs. They're very, very well. They're so defensively sound. They did a really good job slowing us down, especially on the perimeter, where we've had some success against other teams, including Millville. So they really had a good game plan. And you know what? Hey, they walked into that field 0-7. We never lost to Lenape. It was their night.
Yep.
It was their night.
And again, going forward, there are no cream puffs in the division you've got. You've got Township next. Do you want to take that?
That's Dr. Ray.
Dr. Ray?
Dr. Ray, I'm on the show.
Maybe he's got a correction for you.
It might be.
Township. Real brief, and then we'll come up and we'll preview that. But what's your first instinct about Township? Rivalry game, obviously.
No love lost there, right?
Nope.
I talked to Coach Schatzman. We talk frequently during the off season, checking on one another. But we know game night, we don't like each other. Our program doesn't like their program, and it's vice versa. And we don't want it any other way. We like that rivalry. And it's, for a long time, Williamstown's kind of had the upper hand there, But what Schatzman has done very, very well, and I give him credit for this, he's keeping those Washington Township kids there now. For a lot of those years, a lot of those kids would go to, the parochial schools, and he'd lose his key guys. They're staying there now. So it's starting to show. So hats off to him. He's doing a good job turning that program around. But it's always a great game.
When we come back, we're going to talk about a big lift that this Braves roster is going to get as we get closer to the kickoff of the Washington Township Williamstown game. It's Friday night here on BFA, but more with the coach live here at Rack's Pub and Grill in Williamstown on BFA.
No one out-cheeses, out-meats, out-supremes, out-crusts, or outstuffs the Hut. Because when it comes to making your favorites, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopaedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
Pizza Hut wings are bigger and better than the other pizza guys' wings. No one outwings the Hut.
The Claridge is the best destination to stay and play on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Just steps away from the ocean, the Claridge has it all. The city's ultimate rooftop bar, wonderful restaurants, classic guest rooms with ultra-high-speed Wi-Fi, and 100,000 square feet of banquet and convention space for events and the wedding of your dreams. Book at Claridge.com for the best rates and find the best package for your stay. Discover all the Claridge has to offer.
Welcome back to the Coaches Show. Final segment with the head coach, Tom Kelly, on BFA. 14-13, down to Lenape. You know what you got ahead of you, right? You know the record. You look at the roster that you have. You make little changes. You name 6 captains at the beginning of the season. Is it fair to say that you're going to get some good news in the health department? I told you not to leave me hanging.
So there's a there could be a special guest Friday night. There could be a special guest.
And his initials would be MB, maybe?
Maybe.
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 Right. MB, maybe. Which is important, too, because you need something. Wherever it comes from is irrelevant at this point. 1 in 3, you need something. Anybody. Who are you looking to other than that MB? Who else are you putting it on to make things happen from that locker room to the field on Friday night?
It's the captains. It's always. I mean, that's why those guys are in that position. It's their team. So, we've been resilient. It's not like we haven't fought. We fought in every game, every play. That's who we're going to lean on. Just might be a little extra fire this week.
What was the message? And I ask you this every week. Did you have a good week of practice? Well, it's only Tuesday here, and we're going till Friday, so you got another 2 days of practice at least. When you left, and we talked off camera before, and you said it was a Friday night game, I'll see you Sunday, right? You just took care of that.
Yeah.
You come back Monday, which was yesterday. Did you have to say anything to the guys?
No, listen. Our team knows where we stand. Friday night was a tough loss. And everybody had to take that loss, take it into the weekend with them. Let it sit for a little bit. But they knew you walk through the doors on Monday. Guess what? That's done. That's in the rearview mirror. We got to get ready for Township now. It's all about Township, getting back on track. Which Monday and today, we're in the right direction.
And you don't need to mention names, obviously, but when you look at Township and on video, what concerns you the most?
They're just a well-rounded, top-to-bottom, very good team. They would have a couple guys last year that were really runaway star, like Jonathan Silver. That running back was outstanding. They have very good team speed. They have good size on the line. They're physical. They're just all, they got it. You kind of look at them and say, where's the weakness? They don't really have one. So, Coach Schatzman and that staff's going to have them ready. It's their first home game. That crowd is going to be rocking. They're going to be ready to play us. We got to be able to match their intensity.
Intensity, I would say, is an understatement because of the circumstances. Do you consider this game a season-saving game?
Nah, I mean every game is important. I don't. No, there's no season-saving game, and we got to take this game, and we have to win this game. We're 0-0 right now. If you look at the 1 and 3, you keep hanging on the mistakes, and we got to worry about this game, doing what we got to do, win it, and then we look. We move forward after that.
Washington Township, they're the host. It is Friday night here on BFA. The Braves go to Washington Township to meet the Minutemen. So for the coach, Tom Kelly, good to see you as always.
You too, Lozzi.
We'll see you on Friday night, kickoff 7 o'clock right here on BFA. From Rack's Pub and Grill. Good night, everybody.